Hello, welcome to the Win Blockchain USDT rewards overview. We're going to cover exactly how you earn USDT in the Win blockchain. There's 5 Win blockchain levels, and we went through an overview video that explains how to achieve each level. So I recommend you watch that to get more information on how you can promote and level up in the Win blockchain. Each level earns what we call proof of action rewards. I'm not going to go through all of these on this slide because I want to go through them more individually. But the higher level you achieve, the more proof of action rewards are on the table for you to earn. The first reward we'll cover is called a transaction reward. And there is a 10% transaction reward for anyone that you personally introduce into the Win blockchain community and the sales or purchases that they make. So if you're a droid, and that's what you need to be to earn this transaction reward, or higher, and you introduce, let's say, me into the Win blockchain, and I purchase a Win node, I purchase a Switch node, a Galvin node, a Grow node, an Element node, and you actually earn 10% off of the node price. On the Win node, it's the full price. On all other smart node projects, it's 50% of the node price. You'd make 10% of that number. If you brought in someone else who purchased nodes, you make another 10% override. You bring in another person, you're getting a 10% transaction reward. You bring in a fourth person into your friend chain, you're making another 10% transaction reward. There's no limit on how many people you can introduce and how many 10% transaction rewards you can earn. The next reward is called a second level confirmation reward, and that is a 5% confirmation reward. So what that means is if you're a droid and you introduce me, who I get to droid, and I sell a Win node, and I sell a Switch node, Galvin, Grow, Element, Rally, Rev, any of the node projects, you're making a 5% override on my sales that I'm making because I'm a droid and you're a droid. You're picking up a 5% confirmation reward. You bring in another droid, they sell a Win node, you're making a 5% second level confirmation reward. You get a 5% off of your third team, a 5% off your fourth team. And again, there's no limit to how many teams you can build and no limit to how many 5% second level confirmation rewards you can earn. Then we have what's called a personal first block bot reward. And you can also earn transaction rewards as a block bot. So in this example, if you're a block bot, and we have that video that shows you exactly what to do to get to block bot, but it's basically helping 5 personally sponsored droids come into the community and a total of 10,000 in total volume over the preceding 12 months. So it's not too difficult to get to this promotion level. But if you're there, and let's say you introduce me as your 6th friend chain member, you would earn a 10% transaction reward off of my node purchases, and you'd get a 10% block bot 1 reward for a total of 20%. You bring in more people as a block bot, you're earning 20% on their node purchases. You also can earn the confirmation reward on top of the first block bot. So let's say you introduced me, I'm a droid. I bring someone in that gets a Win node. You're getting a 10% block bot 1 reward, plus you're still getting that 5% confirmation reward, a total of 15% basically on those second level sales below any droids that you bring in. You also can earn a 5% second block bot reward. What that means is if you introduce someone to the company that gets to block bot, in this example, 1 is you, 2 is a droid, the third person down is a block bot, and the fourth person down, let's say, purchased a Win node. Well, the block bot right above them would earn 10% transaction reward and a 10% BlockBot 1 reward. They would get that 20%. The droid above them would get a 5% confirmation reward. And if you're the second BlockBot above this win node being sold, you would get that 5%, what we call a BlockBot 2 sales reward. In this example, let's say a BlockBot sells a win node, they're making the 10 transaction, the 10% BlockBot reward. The droid above them is getting that second level confirmation. The droid above that is not qualified for any overrides, but you're that second BlockBot above the win node being sold. You're getting 5% as a BlockBot 2 reward. This next example, you've got a droid who sells a win node. They get 10% transaction. A BlockBot above them gets the 10% Block 1 reward, a 5% confirmation reward. The droid above them doesn't qualify for any overrides. And then if you're the second BlockBot above that win node being sold, or any other node being sold, any project node, you're getting a 5% Block 2 override. In this example, if you brought me in and I was a BlockBot and I started selling win nodes, I would get the 10% transaction, the 10% Block 1 reward. You would actually get the 5% confirmation reward, and you'd get a 5% Block 2 reward. So you'd make a total of 10% off of that win node being sold. There's also what's called node operator rewards. Any BlockBots participate in 10% of each Win Smart Node sale, and it's distributed back to all BlockBots that are actively operating and running a Win Smart Node. Above that level, you can get above BlockBot, there's what's called BlockBot Node 5. We call it Block 5 for short, but that's helping 5 people in 5 different friend chains get to BlockBot. If you do that, in this example, your second team here has a BlockBot. Your third team has a couple of them, but only need one in that leg. Third team has somebody. Fourth team down, you've got a BlockBot. And then a fifth team, you've got somebody that got to BlockBot. Anywhere in your teams, it doesn't have to be direct to you, but each team, you need 5 different teams in your friend chains to have a BlockBot in that chain. That would make you what's called a Block 5 for short. That will allow you to earn 5% infinitely down until someone else hits that Block 5 promotion. So if no one hits it, you're getting 5% off your entire organization, above and beyond the 10% Block 1 reward, the 5% Block 2, the confirmation rewards, the transaction rewards. This is above and beyond all of that. But let's say, it can be as many levels below you, 10 levels below, 100 levels below, 200 levels below. Somebody gets to Block 5. Under that individual, you pick up 3% infinitely down until someone else hits Block 5 below them. That's called a first generation override. And then if someone, it could be 100 levels below them, it could be 1 level below them, but eventually if someone below them gets to Block 5, you still get 2% infinitely down below them. That would be called a second generation. That 2% would go infinitely down until someone below them finally hit Block 5. Then it would finally cut your Block 5 overrides off. If you help 5 people in 5 different teams get to Block 5, you become a Block 10. That opens up a 2% open line override infinitely down until someone else in a particular line gets to Block 10. And then on that team, you would still get a 2% override infinitely down until someone else in that team hit Block 10. And then you would still get a 1% infinite override until finally another person hit Block 10. And then it would eventually cut you off of that override. Block 20, if you help 5 individuals hit Block 10 in 5 different friend chains, you'll get to Block 20. That opens up another 2% infinite override. If someone hits Block 20 under you, could be a few hundred levels deep, 1,000 levels deep, you get a 2% first generation. And then if someone in that same team gets to Block 20, you'd still get a 1%, which we'd call a second generation, infinitely down until finally if someone under that line got to block 20, that would cut you off. Just on that team, just on that line, you would still pick up the block 20 off all the other teams that there were no block 20s in. You would actually still be picking up block 10 rewards and block 5 rewards if there were no block 10s or block 5s. This table can kind of break it down, because if you're a block 20, you could be making pretty much up to 9% rewards on your friend chains. So as a droid, you're getting your 10% transaction reward, a 5% confirmation reward. As a block bot, you get the same 10 and 5, but you start picking up block bot 1 rewards 10% there, and block bot 2 rewards 5% there. Block 5s, 10s, 20s, they pick up the exact same payout as a block bot, except for when you're a block 5 and you have droids or block bots under you, you're getting 5% open line infinitely down until someone achieves that same promotion as you. Then if they do that, you're still picking up 3%. And then if somebody under them, you're still picking up 2%. Well, if you're a block 10, you could be picking up 7%. A block 20 picks up 9% off all block bots and all droids. And if it's somebody that you personally bring in, you're still picking up the 10% transaction reward, the 10% block 1. So you could, in essence, be making 29%. You'd make the 10 here as transaction rewards, the 10 block 1 reward, and the 9 infinity override as a block 20. You're getting 29% off the node purchases from your direct individuals. And then if someone hits that promotion, you could still be getting 7% or even 4% on the second generation. 100% is paid out. There's 10% in what we call the win score ranking distribution blocks. So if you're in the top 50,000 community builders, and it's based on production, there's a point system based on how many nodes you're running, how many nodes you sold, how well your team is doing, how well people in the entire blockchain underneath you are doing. And if you're in the top 50,000 production of community builders, based on your points, you get 2.5% of the entire revenue split between you and 49,999 other community members. If you're top 5,000, you get another 2.5% split between you and 4,999 of your friends. And if you're top 500, you get another 2.5% that's split between you and 499 of your friends. And if you end up in the top 50, you're getting a 2.5% override of all revenues shared with 49 of your other community member friends. And again, 100% of the sales are distributed out to the community through the node network. That's really the nuts and bolts on the payout for USDT. This is extremely lucrative. We've had folks that are doing extremely well in the USDT. And this is above and beyond their actual token rewards, which could someday, if there's a lot of utility for those tokens, be worth well more than the USDT rewards that they're already earning.